So here's number 7. And kind of like when we did the two-step equations, you notice that I have a coefficient of 2 here, right? So what we did on the last video was that we took this whole thing and we multiplied by the denominator, right? By this 2. So this stuff up here was being divided by this 2 right here. So when I say that I'm going to multiply, I don't actually need to do a multiplication up here because I really didn't have all this. I had half of it because it's being divided by 2. So what I'm saying is this 2 cancels that 2 in this case over here, okay? But over here, we actually have to do that multiplication because this 11 wasn't being divided by 2. So over here, we undid this divide by 2 with that multiply by 2. That's the whole reason why we chose that guy. So this top will just drop down. Cool. So far, we haven't even done any of our steps. This was just to make it a little bit simpler so we didn't have to work with fractions. So let me run through my steps here. So now, does it look like cross multiply? Not really. Does it look like distribute? No, not really. Combine like terms. Can I combine these? No, and that's all by himself. So no. Step 4 is separate letters from numbers. So this is the number, letter, number. On this side, we have them together. So we need to get rid of 1. So I'm going to make the left side my letter side and this side my number side. Okay, just because the letter was already on the left, okay? So this is step 4, and we're going to do plus or minus only. So the thing that needs to leave is this -8, because he's a number, and the number side is the right side. We'll do plus 8 to make my 0, plus 8 to make my 0. In step 4, we're always trying to make zeros, okay? We'll bring this guy down, and be sure that you bring him down with his sign. A lot of people will forget about that negative, and then they'll get an opposite sign for their answer. So we're almost done here. 22 plus 8 will give me 30. So this was just to get the subtotal from step 4, which was my separate step. Now I'm going to move to step 5, which is my solve step. So in step 5, what I'm going to do is, this is multiplying, so I'm going to divide by -3. Divide by -3. -3 divided by -3 gives me 1k, or each k is worth -10. You can just go k equals, I'm going to go a little higher for you guys, k equals -10, if you like. And we're done. Cool, so that was kind of using that little trick that we learned in two-step equations where we multiply by the denominator so that we can get rid of it. So let me move to number 3. This is going to be like one of the hardest ones that you guys have to do on this set. So in number 7, our denominator was 2. That's why we multiplied by 2. And this one, our denominator is this little ugly thing here, right? V plus 12 is going to be the denominator. So that's all right. Let's go ahead and try to set that up. So what we would do is we would take this thing and we're going to multiply by the denominator. And we said this guy's a denominator right here. V plus 12. Cool? So again, on this set here, this whole top was being divided by V plus 12. And when you multiply by V plus 12, those are equal and opposite operations. So they cancel each other. Okay, so this will cancel that on this right side here. And we're just going to get this V plus 4 drop down. Okay, and then this V plus 12 needs to multiply times this 9. Okay, so let me just go ahead and kind of set this one up because it can look a little bit complicated. V, it's going to multiply this V plus 12. I know that I said it was going to be V plus 12 times 9, but 9 times V plus 12, it's the same thing, right? 3 times 2 is 6, and 2 times 3 is also 6. Okay, so let me go ahead and multiply this. It's kind of like a distribution step here if you think about it. This is 90. This will be 108 equals to V plus 4. Okay. So really, this wasn't really any of our steps yet. We're just multiplying by the denominator to get rid of it. I'm going to do a video where we can kind of make this look like a proportion and solve it. But for now, this is the way I want you to do it. That's our denominator. We multiply both sides by the denominator. On this right side, it just cancels the bottom and the V plus 12 drops down. Over here on this left side, I actually have to do that multiplication because 9 was not being divided by V plus 12. So here, it's actually going to do the multiplication. Okay, so we're allowed to multiply any equation by any number and have it be the same as long as we do it to every single term. Okay, So here, let's continue with our problem. And let's see now that's kind of the distribution step. So let's check combine like terms. So can I combine these? No, they're not like terms, and v plus 4 are also not like terms. So there's no combining to be done here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna separate. Okay, so this is where I'm gonna draw my line. I'm gonna make the left to be my letter side and the right to be my number side. You know, I could have done it backwards, but whatever. I just thought that that's probably a little bit better. So this is a letter, this is a number, this is a letter, and this is a number. Okay, so on this left side thing, the thing that doesn't belong is this 108. And just so that we don't forget, I know I keep saying it, step 4 is a plus or minus, and our goal is to always make 0. So I need to get, he's gonna be okay here, but I need to get rid of this guy. Because it's a plus 108, I'm gonna get rid of it with a minus 108. Cool, and that makes 0. 108, take away 108, 0. And then on this right side, I'm also gonna take away 108. Just because it has to stay equal, right? You made one side smaller by 108, you need to make the other side smaller by 108 also. So now what we're gonna do is look at the right side. This one doesn't go here because it's a letter and the letters are over there. So I'm gonna go minus v, and that gives me a 0. And on the left side, I'm gonna go minus v also. Okay, so now let's take our totals. 9v minus v will give me 8v, and then on this side, we're gonna do positive 4 minus 108. So that's not easy, but okay, this one's bigger. So then I know I'm gonna have a negative, right? Because this one's bigger. And then how much bigger? It's bigger by 104, right? The difference between these two. So this is gonna be negative 104. Cool. And then now we can move on to step 5, which is my solve step. And our tools are multiply, divide, and square root. So this 8 is multiplying that v. So we're gonna divide the 8 away, divide the 8 away. And we'll get v equals to, it goes in 13 times. Negative 13. Cool. The way I did that, it was like 8 times 10 would be 80, and there's 24 left. That 24 broken up by 8 is 3. So that's how I got that 13, right? And it's negative because it's a negative divided by a positive, different sign, negative answer. Cool, so v equals negative 13, and we're done. Okay, so I think that pretty much covers most of the ones on that I'm gonna put up. And then what we'll do next is proportions, okay? But that'll be on the next video. Okay, so get to work, and if you have any questions, again, leave them in the comments. And if you can answer somebody's question, go ahead. You can answer it with words, or you can take a picture of what you did to come to get your answer. Both are very helpful to us either way, okay? Thank you very much. Enjoy.